out of the theatre review of Disclosure Day, this is going to be really controversial because I've seen so many, like the Friend Brothers in America, you guys obviously got it before us, and again, this is going to be spoiler free because it's out of the theatre. Also, by the way, you might be sat there thinking, MCT, how come this is out of the theatre when you're clearly in the studio? Two things. One, I just don't feel comfortable recording in public. I just don't have it in me at all. And second of all, the theatre, I'm very fortunate, is 5 minutes around the corner from my house. So 5 minutes ago, I was in the cinema, now I'm here. So you can suck a mountain of tip. I'm going to keep this really short because we're going to do a more in-depth review later on, spoiler-heavy review later on. But yeah, this is really controversial. I didn't like it as much as everyone else clearly has done. I don't understand why I didn't like it so much. Man, it sucks because Steven Spielberg is one of my favourite directors of all time. It was scored by John Bastard Williams. The lineup alone, from the cast to the directors to the score, should have had me frothing at the gash watching this film. And I think what's happened is I've had the bar set far too high for me. I've set the bar high for myself already because it's Spielberg. I liked what I saw in the trailers. I've got an issue with the trailers, which we'll get into in the review later on. But I think, unfortunately, because the Friend Brothers in America got this a few days earlier than we did in England, I've seen a couple of out of the theatre reviews and I've not really seen that much negativity around it. So I went in expecting it's going to be Spielberg back at his best. You aren't going to get that Ready Player One kind of... I mean, if you go into this film expecting Ready Player One visuals, you're not going to get it. The film does a lot of things well. It does do a lot of things well. I think the acting is brilliant. Emily Blunt is ridiculous in this film. So if you go in with reasonable expectations, I think you'll enjoy the film. And I'm hopefully putting out this video out now. So when you little cheese weasel sitting there watching this, maybe before you go and watch it, maybe you go in with the bar set low and then you come out really enjoying it. I think the worst thing, like I said, without sounding like a broken record, the worst thing that I've done is set the bar too high. Spielberg, Williams, the cast, the trailers, everything was right there for me. I was expecting to come out of the cinema, do this review and say, please go and watch this in the theatre. And I gotta be real, brother. For me, very controversial opinion. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me on this. This isn't a film that I'm buzzing that I watched in the cinema. It's really not. And that really pains me to say it because I absolutely adore Steven Spielberg. I need to make this clear, it's not an awful film, it's not a bad film at all. It's still a good film. I would happily go back and watch it again. I think the story's good, the premise is good, the structure's really good, how everything goes. One of the biggest compliments I will give it is no scene is wasted, and this is something that Spielberg has done for years, but literally, man, every scene, there is something that happens in every scene. This film is the best part of 2.5 hours long, and every scene, something pivotal, something important happens in every scene, and you don't really get that many directors I think today, a lot of the big directors that Hollywood are looking at now couldn't give you a 2.5 hour film where every scene means something. So, again, there are a lot of positives to Disclosure Day, without a doubt, and it is a good film. And I would say go and check it out for yourself. Go to the cinema and check it out for yourself. But unfortunately for me, I set the bar too high, and I really was expecting to sit here and tell you all, don't miss this film in the theatre. Go and check it out. Spend the money, and just get amongst it. And unfortunately, maybe I'm going to have to sit on it for a couple of hours and do the review later on and see how I feel. But out of the theatre, I'm really surprised at how not over the top blown out I was. And like I said, that's because I think personally for me, I've set the bar too high. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there before I start going into spoilers. I'll do a proper review later on. If you've watched it, don't drop any spoilers in the comments. Just wait for the review later on. But that's it.
Look at your scumbag!